welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi. Later, we're going to be reading you guys a story about a butterfly.
We're going to be watching in summer, right?
Yes, we're going to be watching in summer, and we're going to talk a bit about the behind the scenes and our journey.
Awesome.
Because we filmed the whole music video throughout the whole summer that we were filming all the rest.
Right.
So this is sort of a compilation, a nostalgic.
Right. It's not really like a story, but it's more our story. It's like our adventure. All right, let's watch this together.
Yes.
I want it.
Savannah, play it. In summer, when all the flowers bloom.
I remember that rainbow in the beginning. Was it a double rainbow?
Yes, it was.
It was a double rainbow, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It
really
was a double
cool.
rainbow, and I saw this, like the flowers were there, and I thought, oh, that's gonna be an awesome scene. I just went down. It was just kind of something in between.
It was so funny because we came early in the morning, and then we looked up, and all of a sudden this big rainbow was starting to form.
Yeah.
And it just kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter.
I think we were in the ghost town that had a barn.
Yes.
Yeah, oh right. It was with the birds flying overhead, which I think we'll see a little bit later.
Yeah.
We'll see the birds, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I think it might have been a triple rainbow. No. It might have had a
Those happen.
Yeah.
Those happen. I don't know if I've ever seen one. Maybe I've seen a faint one.
Maybe come on over. Let's watch.
Okay, let's watch.
Hey, you want to turn it on?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, turn it.
We'll dance under the moon in summer when the good times reappear.
Our travels.
It's nice to know that you
We filmed that outside our car window.
in summer.
So that was the birds that we're talking about.
That was we were driving by, and then we saw this farm, and we stopped in to talk to the guy. And yeah, he had this shop there, and it was really cool. And he had all these animals outside.
Yeah.
And the goats were following my red dress everywhere I went.
I remember that.
Why?
Yeah, and they
So I think there's a few scenes. So like with horses, goats, sheep, you see that, and if you see like a pan around, that's probably that place where we just filmed a bunch of stuff with those animals.
Oh
right?
yeah, whenever we had the chance, we would always just snap something quickly.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of this stuff is actually the extra footage that we weren't planning on using.
Yep.
But then we realized, oh, we have a song in summer. Why don't we make it a nostalgic collage that we can look back on?
I remember that horse. We had some friends when we were in, you know, that the other ghost town.
Montana?
I think it was Montana. That was the one where we filmed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, our friends were there, and they had these horses that they'd go on horseback with, and they let us film them there. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, I remember I asked them, can we film some of your horses? Because we have some music videos coming out, and they were so kind. They let us let us film them. I feel like I'm home in summer when the tunnel disappear. I remember that tunnel shot was really hard to do because if you look closely, actually, you'll see there's a car at the end.
I had to sit on the hood of the car to get that one
I remember.
with the gimbal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was wild. It was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But we were going. It was really pretty fast. You know, you see how fast we're going in the video. That was a really good shot though because it looks really nice.
That was not sped up. So.
No, it's not sped up. That was real true speed.
True speed. There were no suspenders or anything for Michael.
I wasn't strapped down or anything. This was I was like a stunt guy.
This was an idea.
Yeah.
We are also our own stunt people. So.
Oh, that's true. We don't have any stunt doubles, right?
Yes. So if you see me next to a cliff, which you'll actually, I
Flute on the rock.
Flute on the rock.
You were
the butterfly.
standing right up there. That was real. You actually stood there at the edge. That wasn't like we were in a different spot or something to be safe. No, she was right there in those heels. Yeah.
Yeah. On the edge of a cliff. Around here, actually. We filmed it around here.
Yeah. Want to turn it on? I'm gonna watch it now.
Okay. My heart begins to sing for love is near. Oh yeah, the river track.
That was an abandoned track.
Yeah.
And when I know that winter's just
Remember sometimes the train would go on? No, the train never went on there.
keep the fire burning.
shots we filmed that time.
Right.
I remember that one. The water was really cold there.
That was really cool for me too.
Yeah.
Was Penny there?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this shot.
Oh, we saw a bunch of
Yeah.
big dandelions in the field.
In summer, the meadows are divine. In summer,
Oh yeah.
we nights are mine. Together we will talk.
These clovers are huge.
There were
Oh, yeah.
so many trees.
That was in the.
Ring and pledging.
So a few of these scenes were in the rainforest
Yes.
up in.
Washington.
All the plants there were so big, and I'm pretty sure those clovers and also this scene that's up right now. I'm pretty sure that was also.
Yeah, it was from there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so lush there. Oh, and the boat scene. We filmed that while they were having a festival. Remember they took
Yeah.
all their sailboats out? We actually have more footage of that. If you guys would like to see it, just leave it in the comments below. I'd love to show it off. It was an amazing festival. We had so much fun. We had just come back from a monastery retreat.
Right.
Oh,
So-
I loved that monastery.
Yes. And we took the ferry over to get there. It was the first time the kids ever went on a ferry. Oh, we found that waterfall, yeah.
Yeah. And that was up there again. There. We walked, we were walking.
Around the corner, I trust you to keep them.
Oh, that was a huge
Redwoods. The redwoods. I think this was a redwood tree. Yeah.
No, that wasn't.
It was not it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was a fir tree, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fir tree.
It was a fir tree.
But it was gigantic.
It was huge.
insane.
I mixed it up with a redwood tree, but that was a fir tree.
Oh, yeah. Again, that was one of the first scenes we filmed. It was in the same area.
That was that was next to the river, right? I forget what state that was.
My nose
That was
Yeah.
nose.
My nose, Mom.
Yeah.
That was funny. I
Yeah.
laughed about it.
Yeah.
Then when I coughed.
Meet today's sponsor, Bib Sweetness.
Yes. Vivid sweetness.
Now it's story time.
This is the story of The Butterfly by Hans Christian Andersen. There once was a butterfly who wished for a bride, and as may be supposed, he wanted to choose a very pretty one among the flowers. He glanced with a very critical eye at all the flower beds and found that the flowers were seated quietly and demurely on their stalks. But there was a great number of them, and it appeared as if making his choice would become very wearisome. The butterfly did not like to take too much trouble, so he flew off on a visit to the daisies.
The French call this flower marguerite. Lovers pluck off the leaves. As they pluck each leaf, they ask a question about their sweethearts. Thus, does he or she love me? Dearly? Distractedly? Very much? A little? Not at all? And so on. Each one speaks these words in his own language.
The butterfly came also to Marguerite to inquire, but he did not pluck off her leaves. He pressed a kiss on each of them, for he thought there was always more to be done by kindness. Darling Marguerite Daisy, he said to her, you are the wisest woman of them all. Pray tell me which will be my bride. When I know, I will fly directly to her and propose. But Marguerite did not answer him. She was offended that he should call her a woman when she was only a girl. There is a great difference. He asked her a second time, and then a third, but she remained dumb, answering him not at all. Then he would wait no longer, but flew away to commence his wooing at once. It was in the early spring, when the crocus and the snowdrop were in full bloom.
They are very pretty, thought the butterfly. Charming little lasses, but they are rather stiff and formal. Then, as young lads often do, he looked out for the older girls. He next flew to the anemones, but these were rather sour to his taste. The violet was a little too sentimental, the lime blossoms were too small, and besides, there was such a large family of them. The apple blossoms, though they looked like roses, bloomed today, but might fall off tomorrow, when the first wind blew, and he thought a marriage with one of them might last too short a time. The pea blossom pleased him most of all. She was white and red and graceful and slender, and belonged to those domestic maidens who have a pretty appearance, yet can be very useful in the kitchen. He was just about to make her an offer when, close by her, he saw a pod with a withered flower hanging at the end. "Who is that?" he asked. "That is my sister," replied the pea blossom. "Oh, indeed, and you will be like her someday," he said, very rudely, and at once he flew away, for he felt quite shocked.
Spring went by, and summer drew toward its close. Autumn came, but he had not decided. The flowers now appeared in their most gorgeous robes. But all in vain, they had not the fresh, fragrant air of youth. The heart asks for fragrance, even when it is no longer young. And there is very little of that to be found in the dahlias or the dry chrysanthemums. Therefore, the butterfly turned to the mint on the ground. This plant, you know, has no blossom, but is sweetness all over. It is full of fragrance from head to foot, with the scent of a flower in every leaf. But the mint stood silent and stiff as she listened to him. At last she said, "I can give you friendship if you like, nothing more. I am old and you are old, but we may live for each other just the same. As to marrying, however, no. That would appear ridiculous at our age."
And so it happened that the butterfly got no wife at all. He had been too long choosing, which is always a bad plan, and became what is called an old bachelor. It was late in the autumn, with rainy and cloudy weather. The cold wind blew over the bowed backs of the willows, so that they creaked again. It was not the weather for flying about in summer clothes, but fortunately, the butterfly was not in it. By a happy chance, he had got a shelter. It was in a room heated by a stove as warm as summer. He could live here, he said, well enough.
"But it's not enough merely to exist," he said. "I need freedom, sunshine, and a little flower for a companion." So he flew against the window pane, and was seen and admired by those in the room, who caught him and stuck him in a glass. They could not do more for him.
"Now I am perched on a stalk like the flowers," said the butterfly. "It is not very pleasant, certainly. I imagine it is something like being married, for here I am stuck fast." And with this thought he consoled himself a little. "That seems very poor consolation," said one of the plants in the room that grew in a pot. "Ah," thought the butterfly, "one can't very well trust these plants in pots. They have had too much to do with human beings."
Wow, that was an interesting story.
It is.
Yes. So what do you guys think? Do you have any thoughts on any part of it?
I know what you said. Okay. Well, I was thinking, in general, when you're looking with someone to be with, isn't it true that although you should look for someone to be with if you want to be with someone, that you should wait and see who is right for you?
Yes, so there was nothing wrong with him wanting to find a person that he really cared for or that he really liked, right? But you can see that throughout the story, it was never about the flowers themselves, but the fact that he always saw nothing but fault in them. And also, you can see throughout the story, he never looked at himself. It was always outward criticism,
I see.
no matter where he went. If you actually look, when I was painting the pictures, I made it in such a way that it was from his perspective. For instance, when he saw the older sister of one of the plants, right, and he didn't find her particularly appealing, he saw her as a flower instead of a girl, because that was the way he saw the world. It doesn't necessarily mean that is the way the world is, but it's the way he was looking at the whole world in a negative view. Another thing was, you can see that as he gets older throughout the story, his physical appearance doesn't change. His cloak and hat does change color, but he doesn't see himself as old. He doesn't see himself that way.
Right. Okay, so it's just that's not the way he sees it, but he is actually growing old. Right?
Yes, he's slowly throughout
But
the
that's
story.
why he's not growing old in the pictures.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly. And you can see that the ladies he likes, he sees them a certain way, right?
Right.
For instance, the mint plant is the most beautiful of all the pictures because he likes her the best. Not necessarily maybe she was, very beautiful, but it's the way he sees things. Yes, and then you can see at the end when he's stuck in the glass. Even then, when he has nothing left, when a potted plant says, "Oh," that's a very negative outlook on life.
Yeah.
He still has something to criticize about the potted plant.
Right.
Because it's not about reality. It's about how he sees things and approaches things.
Yeah.
Which that's a very interesting thing, because that can teach us that we can choose to see the good in people, or we can choose to see the bad in people.
Yeah.
And we can choose to deal with ourselves and try to take care of people.
Yeah, he was very selfish and self-centered and pretty annoying.
Pretty
Very
annoying.
annoying.
He was a little
bit
bit annoying.
Guess that's it then.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Slangful.
Slangful.
Who's potato?
Make sure you come to one of our live concerts. It's so much fun. All our tour dates are listed on our website at theroyalkellys.com. That's where you can see if we're performing in your area. Also, we keep developing original artwork for our band merchandise like t-shirts. So make sure to check out what's new at our online store. All details are in the description as well. We had so much fun entertaining you today. Thank you for watching.